Hello, 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 everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good whatever part of the day it is for you. It is Monday, and I am super excited to hang out with you, wonderful folks. We have a super special treat today, and this may look like the normal stream, but you have no idea what's going on in the background right now. There are so many crazy things going on. Look at all the people in chat. We got Freddie Z here, Jeff the Jar, Plunder Pig, Explosive Ash, Pieboy, Mr. Shogi, Lucas Bucas, all you wonderful, awesome people. Thank you for the sub, by the way, Lucas Bucas. Today's special treat is something we've been talking about a long time, and it's been a work in progress, and today is a big test for it. And what we are doing is we are testing the FTL tournament layout. There's so much stuff going on today. What you don't realize is I'm not streaming from my own house today. Well, I'm in my own apartment, but Kasaelian is behind the scenes running all the knobs and whistles and technical jargon yabble babble. And we are very excited to have Pieboy and MrPorcu playing against each other in a head-to-head FTL mini tournament today. And we have a guest and we have a co-caster, and it's going to be awesome. And Mr. Shogi, of course, gifted 5 subs because he's crazy. But thank you, Lucas, because you watch on the YouTube. That's awesome. But I am so excited for today. If you can't tell, I'm super hyped. And the first thing I want to do is introduce our co-caster who's going to be casting with us. We have a lot of guests and stuff that are going to come in and join in. But today we have Freddie Z TV, who's another Twitch streamer who plays FTL, joining us. Freddie, are you there?
Hi, ho, everybody. I am here. Rand, thanks for having me on. Very excited to be here. I was up all night thinking about it. I just couldn't sleep very well. And I got some few practice runs in myself last night because I do want to participate in the tournament at some point. But
so you're even better prepared than I am. So it's awesome.
I find that hard to believe, but maybe. I don't know.
Well, since you're going to be casting and chatting a lot, why don't you tell us a little bit about how long have you been streaming on Twitch, and what are you known for in FTL land? I know I'm known for Salt, Cookies, and Raging at FTL. What are you known for in your FTL games?
I'm known for Salt, hating Zoltans, and Raging at FTL.
I approve of all these things.
I play hard, no pause. I started around 7 DC time, a few nights a week, sometimes on and off, but we just kind of have a good time, clown around, try to do streaking, a PB of 16.
Nice.
And I don't take it too seriously, but just try to have a lot of fun with the game and some good laughs at FTL, because it will do that to you. You need to laugh at it or it'll kill you.
Yes, if you don't, you rage quit like I do and quit for 6 months. So it's it's good
that's been known to happen as well over here.
Well, that's awesome. I'm really psyched to have you joining us. And I think we're probably ready to swap over. Kasaelian, if you want to swap over the next scene, because we're about ready to get this party started. We have 2 players. We got, as you can see, Mr. Pieboy 56 up there, MrPorcu over there. And if you all can see, we're playing the Zoltan A ship today. So they're going to go head to head. We're going to have them enter a seed so that they're playing on the same seed. And then I'm going to count them down 3, 2, 1, and they're going to get going. So this is going to be, I'm so hyped for this. So hopefully Pieboy and MrPorcu are ready. Let me go to their thing here. It needs to be only numbers for the seed. Darn, I'll tell you, the seed was going to be FU FTL, but apparently it's going to be numbers. So So I'm going to give them a seed. And you know what? If you all at home want to play along, if you have Hyperspace pulled up, I'm going to give you the seed in chat as well. So Pieboy and MrPorcu, I'm going to give you the seed. This is going to be, let's go with, you can tell I prepared this beforehand by totally not putting a seed number. Let's do 906875. That's going to be the seed right there. I'm going to copy and paste this in chat as well. 906875. That's the seed. So if you folks at home want to play, there's the seed. You can play along with us. Type that in there. Make sure, I'm going to wait to see their seeds. Make sure they're all good to go.
No 69s for good luck. Darn. Maybe next time.
Yeah, we'll definitely do 696969 as the next seed for sure. All right. So I see Porcu is ready. Pieboy, if you want to type in ready when you're ready as well, and I'll give a countdown. Unless Kasaelian's giving the countdown, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'll do the countdown. Okay, cool. All right. This is so cool. I love the whole setup here. We got the head-to-head right there. Yeah, Kasalin's going to take the time. He's also going to, I think he'll do the scoring after the run's over to kind of compare score. Still says my stream says I'm playing D&D. Try refreshing because I'm pretty sure I have updated the title like 5 times. It should be right. Oh, you know what I didn't change? I didn't change the game. That's correct. Thank you, actually. Lima, you're right.
Yeah, game is, yep.
Yeah, my bad.
This is why we're doing this is why we're doing a trial run, folks. To have the nice folks like you help us out and make sure we're polished as can be in a month.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you, Lima. You are correct. I did have the wrong game, so that is correct. What's crazy about this, while we're making sure everything's ready, is we have people from Freddie. You're in DC.
Where are you? Yep.
You're in DC.
Yep, I'm
yeah.
in DC. Yep.
I'm in Dallas. Kasalin, who's running the tech side of this, is in Germany. Porcu is somewhere else. Pieboy is in the UK. We're like, this is like a worldwide thing going on, which is super awesome. But it also means there's like 50 different parts. So if we mess something up, do let us know in chat. Okay, looks like everybody's ready. So, Pieboy, you're ready? Although I am seeing MrPorcu's FTL screen go out in and out on the stream. Okay, cool. Looks like we're ready. So here we go. I'm going to count them down. 3, 2, 1, go. And here we go, my friends. I see Pieboy off and I see MrPorcu off.
And we rolled the Zoltan A, a very strong ship, and hopefully we won't see too many blow-ups, but who knows? It's FTL. Anything can happen.
Well, and that's what I wanted to ask you, Freddie. How do you rate Zoltan A in your ship checklist, your tier list?
For me, Zoltan A is definitely a top 5 ship. It's somewhere up there in the mix. It's not number 1 or 2, but it is a very, very strong ship, and it's actually a contender if you wanted to try to really do a challenge on yourself for like a no-hit or like less than 5 damage on a run, because that is theoretically possible.
Yeah, for sure. And I think one of the reasons Kasalan had mentioned not being sure if he wanted to include Zoltan A in the real tournament is because it's the ship that so many people speed run with. So that starting halberd beam and Zoltan shield is pretty crazy.
That's a good point. For the record, you know, the tournament score is basically comprised of the FTL score as compared to your time using a formula. So you need to have both aspects. You need to get a lot of kills, get a lot of scrap, have a good score, and do it at a high rate of speed. And Zoltan A should be able to do that for you.
Absolutely. And I like what Error said. I think one of the first things, Kasalan, is it might be good if we get an on-screen timer. Just probably don't need one for everybody, and it might be something that's already on his list, but just so we can see. We don't want this to be a speed run, but time is always a factor in a competitive environment like this. And that's a free burst laser Mark 1, so that's pretty awesome.
Oh, and what's interesting too, and what I wanted to see with this tournament was while they have the same seed, it doesn't mean they're going to the same jumps. And there is certainly still going to be some randomness there. So I was always curious, like, you know, I think of myself as a good player, and what would other players do in this spot and this map layout and so forth, and we'll have a chance to do that and see what sectors they take.
That's one of the things I'm most excited about this tournament is I want to see how other people play, because when you play FTL as much as I do, I often am like, I don't think I want to watch other streamers because my brain will explode for too much FTL. But in a tournament like this where we get to see people side by side with similar choices, it'll be cool to see how they play. So like, what's the upgrade path they're going to go? Are they going to go shields first? They're going to go weapons? They're going to save for hacking because that's OP with, you know, halberd beam?
Upgrade path, yeah. And I think right now, you know, I would be looking to, I don't see any engine upgrades yet with our first 10 scrap, and we've got 66s compared to 19 scrap. So as that scrap comes in, are we going to be getting engines? A lot of times you do like to get a shield buffer on this ship with your first 20 scrap, but I don't see one right now.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't see any upgrades. And one thing, what you mentioned there with upgrades that is really a good point is Yikes! Pieboy is getting wrecked by this.
This is rough. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
rough. Even for the
Pieboy.
Zoltan A, this fight's a little bit rough.
That's a combat drone and asteroid field,
And
which
his
is
engines
really
are
suppressive.
down.
Yeah.
He has got to get those engines back. Also, the problem on the ship is the O2 can get very squishy. You got to be aware of that O2.
Yeah. All right. That's a good recovery. He's got his shields. He's got his engines back. If he can get a single, he swapped over to burst laser and Lido, which is a pretty good. That's a pretty good, like on the fly maneuver. If your weapons go down, swap into a low power weapon to get some damage is a really good play. I like that.
That was a very good idea. Yep. You don't want to be married to that halberd in a fight where you just need to get some damage in.
Nice. He missiled down the drones there to get the suppressive combat drone down. So really good recovery by Pieboy.
Awesome. Suppressing fire, if anyone knows
Suppressive fire. Oh, and his reward is a free reconstructive teleport, but hopefully his reward is also not death from the O2. So
yeah, that's exactly what I was just talking about. You got to be sure to get that O2 with these squishy Zoltans back up, and a really nice rewards. That reconstructive, obviously, we won't be doing a lot of teleporting on this ship more than likely, unless there's some meta I'm not aware of, but that'll sell for a lot of money, $35 at the store.
Ooh, let's see if MrPorcu, who's got that same fight, actually, let's see if he can handle it as well. Ooh, we got a shield hack and an asteroid field.
oh no, that's part of the RNG kicking in, is that? He took a bad hack as compared to Pieboy there.
Let's just hope he gets some luck with the combat drone hits, because if his halberd beam comes through.
Oh, nice. He got out.
I'm a little surprised. Yeah, I'm a little surprised he didn't take as much damage, and I'm surprised he didn't halberd beam the weapons or the drone control, but he survived it. So good recovery there as well.
I'd hate to see an early blow up, but you never know with this game.
Oh, yeah. FTL has no mercy. No mercy from FTL.
Interesting. It looks like Porcu is deciding to hit both those doors, because I think he'll be forced to hit the second one after this.
Yeah. I do see MrPorcu got his first engine upgrade. I don't see, let me move, I think my chair's in the way. Okay. Pieboy has not done his engine upgrade either.
We do have a sizable noggin in front of those shield upgrades for Pieboy. So
we're not going to let anybody see the screens.
That's a little better. There we go.
Nice. Casale got my head smaller. Thank you. I did want to say earlier, I think a really good early upgrade is what MrPorcu did. Investing in engines when you have Zoltan Shield is a really good synergy going on.
I agree.
The higher your dodge, the better.
I completely agree. There's a couple of ships that have that one engine start, including the Lanius B and this ship, and I like taking that first scrap and boop right in the engines, because level 2 will get you out of a bad fight so much more quickly than level 1.
Yeah, for sure. And if you get into a position where you're stuck in a solar flare or an asteroid field, you just want to get out, the longer you're there, the more damage you take, the worse it is. So that's a really nice early upgrade for these one engine ships.
Even with a Zoltan shield, it doesn't last forever.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's it. I'm actually psyched that they both had such a tough time in that asteroid field and were able to get out of it. So that's a really good recovery for both these guys.
That is good to see, and hopefully that predicts a little bit the future of the skill we'll see in the tournament. I expect to see some high level play.
Well, yeah, I guess that's one thing we could talk about is we have a lot of folks that are have already, I think, committed to joining the tournament, and so we're going to have some really skilled players, and I'm really looking forward to see the different skill levels. I think Hollow, NecroRebel, I think, is going to be joining. There's I believe Farb is either going to be joining in.
I think Farb is confirmed. Yeah, I saw on the Discord, and he should be joining in. Yeah.
So we're gonna have a lot of really good players, and that's gonna be awesome to see them play.
Yeah, a lot of your streakers, a lot of your Twitch streamers should be in the tourney.
And you said you're planning on playing as well, Freddie? Is that right?
Yeah, I'd like to. I said that I was highly interested in casting, and if I could do both, would be great. Just to be a little bit greedy, both would be awesome. So I do plan on playing. Yeah, if I can.
Oh, and there's MrPorcu dealing with some borders. That's a great strat, what he just did right there. He moved all his crew into Heal Bay, vented the ship, forced the humans into the Heal Bay, and then vent the humans, because that's the only thing you should ever do with humans.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the nice thing about this mod was we had to dismiss a human last night, and I hit the little dismiss button, and unlike regular FTL, nothing happens. When you hit it in the mod, it goes, psh, you get to hear them going out the airlock. It was beautiful.
The number one change for Hyperspace is not that you can seed runs or mod it, it's that you can dismiss your humans and still vent them. It's the number one best thing about it. And we got NecroRebel in the chat, who is known for playing really fast. So I'll be interested to see how NecroRebel plays when he's using slightly faster playstyle than a lot of people will see probably will.
So nice human trick there with Pieboy, getting the humans into the med bay as well. That is a little bit tricky to do. You got to be quick on the trigger and get those doors closed, or you'd have impending disaster. But if you are able to do that, then that is the best way of taking care of those humans.
Yeah, especially when you are pausing. If you're playing no pause, that makes it even tougher. I will say,
very tricky, no pause. Yep.
When you play no pause, what's the toughest thing to deal with when you're not able to pause?
Oh, Lanius borders can be tough because you got to jostle a lot of crew in and out. Generally, it's crew micro. Another tough one, if you kind of learning no pause, is the drone trick. Getting your hacking drone through enemy fire by pausing the drone. Now, after a while, you do get kind of used to that one because you have to hack so much to win runs, but that one can be a little tricky too.
I will say my number one difficult thing to deal with on no pause FTL is probably just boarding in general, because without that security blanket of pausing and move your crew around, it's so easy to lose crew to a little bit of miss micro, a little bit of mispositioning of your crew. And so like that's been one of my biggest challenges with hard mode no pod is hard mode no pause is surviving difficult boarding situations.
Yeah, great example. So yeah, the Crystal ship, any of the med bay boarding ships, the Mantis A, the Crystal boarding ship can be very tough.
So that ship that Pieboy's fighting had a burst laser 2 heavy laser. Good thing halberd beam is so OP that I scoff at your burst laser 2 half laser 1 build.
Interesting choice here by Pieboy. He's got his weapon upgrade in before shield upgrade, but I like it. I do like it because you do have the Zoltan shield, and in fact, with this ship, that could very well be the correct play.
Yeah, I will say if with engine upgrades, Pieboy is doing a unique upgrade path here. With those extra engine upgrades, he's more likely to dodge more shots, which keeps his Zoltan shield online, which means he can invest elsewhere if he feels strong enough with his defense.
Yeah, the level 3 engines is a little bit unique, but I do like it too.
I also really like this choice. He was offered an NG for, what was that, 35 scrap, I think it was?
I didn't catch that.
It was
That's
one of
pretty
those
good price.
Yeah, it was one of those, we'll let you have a slave, because FTL is pro-slavery. He took the NG. And one thing I did want to talk about with Zoltan A is I think one of the best things you can get is early crew, because that is not only an extra crew member, it's also an extra power because you can move that Zoltan out of piloting.
Absolutely, and an NG is probably the best one you could get, to be frank. NG a lot of times is the best first crew you can get. This ship's no exception.
Oh, okay. We got another asteroid field, but unlike Pieboy, MrPorcu has gotten the second shield upgrade that you had mentioned.
This is what I wanted to see was, who does what upgrades with what ships at what times. This is so good to watch.
Yeah, it is so cool. It's so cool. And for MrPorcu, it really paid off because it's asteroid field. 2 shields is a big deal compared to 1 shield.
Yeah, those Zoltan shields don't last long in those asteroid fields, so it's nice to have another shield there.
And Boo, to answer your question, I think MrPorcu, I think the lag is on his end because I think his PC is not the best to handle having the game loaded, having Discord and all the other things that have to be loaded up. So it's probably a little bit of client-based lag, not the stream lag there.
Good thing we're not running any 1080 games. We're keeping the 720 FTL tournament going.
What are you talking about? This is the most high-def video game out there. I don't know what you're talking about.
I would say it was pretty low def for 2012 when it came out, but
that's true.
Those are opinions, not factual statements.
No, I will say one thing that a lot of people talk about in FTL is like, why would you play a game that's so, the graphics are so low? And for me, the gameplay is the important thing of a game, and FTL's gameplay is just, it's almost second to none when it comes to replayability and variety of gameplay,
It's got that in spades. It's been my main game for a number of years, my favorite game for a long time. I've got about 3,000 hours of it. I stream it. I never really get tired of FTL. I don't know what it is. Maybe I have addictive personality, but I just don't get tired of it. I don't know. It's the randomness. You never know what you're going to get. That's the fun of it.
Well, and that's probably a lot of people in chat are the same way. You play it, you watch it, you get salty, but it's always new and it's always different. So it keeps you coming back for more. It's like an abusive relationship, you know?
It is. It's like an abusive relationship with a slot machine because you never know. You put that last quarter and you might just hit it. You never know. So you might have a good run. Who knows?
And let's see.
Pieboy
Uh,
picking up a charge laser there. He sold that one
okay.
off. Probably a good choice.
Yeah, I agree with that. I would like to get the burst laser 1 online with this halberd beam is what I would like to get next if I were getting for this weapon system.
I believe he's in sector 2 right now. I think this is the
Mhm.
time. If I were him, I would start looking at shields. And there it goes. He
There
just
you go.
upgraded. So I like that.
You are psychic, sir. Good call. The shield is a huge pickup, and I think with three engines, 2 shields, a Zoltan shield, next has got to be an offensive upgrade. So hopefully, we'll be looking at either hacking or getting that burst laser 1 online. Is my guess.
First Laser One's a great find because, yeah, just a couple of shield punch early on. He only has
Hmm.
to get his weapons up one more time. It's a great pickup.
Hmm. Yeah, I will say on a lot of like weapon tier lists that I've seen, um, it seems to me like Burst Laser 1 kind of gets a bad rap sometimes, probably because everybody compares it to Burst Laser 2, but it's like it's hard to compare a kind of okay weapon to one of the best weapons in the game, I would say.
I was going to say the same thing. It's like comparing a Ferrari to, a Ford Focus, a Ford Fiesta or something. It's a hot hatchback. It'll get the job done. It'll get you there in style. Even it's not a Ferrari. It's not the Ferrari the Burst Laser 2 is, but it's definitely a very capable weapon.
I love it. I'm going to start calling Burst Laser 2 my Ferrari laser, and every time I see a Burst Laser 1, God, I got a jalopy again. Well, it'll get me there, I guess.
Wow, I mean, if Burst Laser 2 is a Ferrari, that Burst Laser 3 must be a space shuttle, right?
A space shuttle whose engines have stopped working. It
It
looks
stopped
great.
working and
It
blew
does
up on the
nothing.
launch pad.
That's right. Okay, so we got is that a 2 shield ship in sector 2 on Mr. Porker's screen I'm seeing?
I think it is. It's these slug ships that pop up sometimes that do this to you. And it's a tough fight with Alito. A lot of times you get to the spot and it's a tough fight with any. You're
Hmm.
just not expecting or prepared for 2 shield ships in sector
Yeah.
2.
I think Mr. Pork was playing it well, though. He vented his ship to prepare for the solar flare. His Lido hit the shields, and thank God it wasn't 2 shields and a value point in shield. So he was able to get that halberd swipe through. So really good play there.
Yeah, I like that play. And the other thing you can do with it as well is also turn your O2 off, get it vented, just turn the O2 off.
Hmm.
And then you got to be sure to get your doors closed when that solar flare hits, because if that hits and the doors are open, good thing he has that. He does not have the NG that
Yeah, I
Pieboy
was
has.
actually
So
going to say the
yeah,
same.
that's
He
very
didn't
scary
get
situation.
he didn't get the repair and fire putting out power of an NG that Pieboy got a little bit earlier. So good recovery by Mr. Porcu, and his health is looking good. So not too badly punished there. I will say, if we can go back to both screens, I kind of want to compare where they're at because we're at. He's got his 2 shields. He's got his 3 engines. Weapon wise, they're looking the same. Oh, Pieboy's got the same fight right there. This is pretty interesting to see them get the same fights. They must be going a similar path.
It is, yeah, and that's one thing I was interested in the tournament is, would players typically choose the same paths? Do good players look at a map and kind of glean the same trail out of that map? And it looks like
Hmm.
so far it seems to be similar.
This might have been a forced, one of those like kind of forced things because yeah, it looks like they were kind of forced in this area. One thing I will mention is the mod pack that we are using for the tournament does include extended pursuit indicator. So folks who aren't familiar, you see those extra lines on the Rebel pursuit, and that is something we wanted to kind of even the playing field. So people won't choose the same path, but with that pursuit indicator, they will have a good idea about how many jumps they have to work with each sector.
And we do have very similar builds here, same engine, same shields, obviously upgraded different times, and then really just kind of the one NG difference, which is fairly significant, but I would
Hmm.
say overcomable.
Yeah, it looks like I would say Pieboy is doing a little bit better scrap wise, but MrPorcu is doing a little bit better health wise. So, but if our timing's about the same, they're actually making pretty similar timing progress here. They're kind of staying neck and neck on their
Ooh, Porcu
position here.
going with a medbay upgrade. Interesting.
Did he just do medbay? Okay,
Wonder what that's for.
that is not what I would go with, but that is very interesting. Is he in a Mantis sector? What sector did they go into?
Let's see. They are he
It looks
It
like
was
okay,
between Mantis and Abandoned Choices. When he jumps,
okay.
we can look in the lower left and confirm the sector he's in.
I'm pretty sure that Porcu is
It
in
doesn't look like
Mantis.
yeah, he doesn't look like he's in Abandoned. Mantis would not really typically be the choice there, so probably Mantis.
Yeah, and that's interesting. So that is not a choice I would have made. However, dealing with Mantis borders with no extra crew, I can definitely see that upgrade. He's afraid of dealing with the borders without being able to out heal their damage. It looks like
Well, Pieboy's got that battle NG, so he's not afraid.
that battle
It's
NG,
ready
best
to
NG.
go. Yeah, that's the best NG, the battle
So it
NG.
looks like Pieboy did take the abandoned sector. Okay, so we do have a divergence
Interesting.
here in
So this
sector
is our
choices.
first big divergence. Yeah.
Hmm.
Sector
Now this is.
3, Sector 3 abandoned is not
Hmm.
really that scary. It's when you hit
Hmm.
Sector 4 that you hit the bombers. So Sector 3
Yeah.
abandoned, you really shouldn't be have too many fears. Honestly, either Mantis or abandoned's fine here, to be honest.
Yeah, probably. What I will say about abandoned sector is you are going to see more things, possibly like what Pieboy's seeing is hacking and mind control. Those extra systems are often more prevalent, I would say, in abandoned. But you're right. Without the Lanius bombers, it's a little less scary if you
It
go
is,
sector
yeah.
2 or 3.
You'll see those systems on the bombers starting in Sector 4, but Sector 3
Hmm.
is usually pretty easy.
Hmm. All right, very nice. You get that ASB ally. Okay, and it sounds like we're about to have our first guest. So one of the other cool things about uh, this tournament is we are going to have other streamers and FTL players as guests coming in. And today our guest is actually going to be somebody who a lot of people in chat are going to know, and that is NecroRebel. So we're going to invite NecroRebel to join the chat call here and talk to him while we watch the tournament here.
And I have been following the chat, so I should be in here already, hopefully.
Nice. What's up, sir? How are you doing, NecroRebel?
I'm doing all right this morning.
That's
NecroRebel
awesome.
sounds up to speed. Not much gets past him, I know. He's very, very fast player. Welcome on in, NecroRebel. Thanks for joining us here.
So, how do you like the format so far from what you're seeing? What are your thoughts on how this is going so far?
Looks like it's working fairly well to me. I was kind of looking at the sector choices there. I think I would actually be taking the abandoned sector in this case, just because I would be more worried about the borders from the mantises than the extra systems. I also usually find abandoned sector to be higher scrap rewards than other sectors are.
That's a very good point. Abandoned sectors can be punishing, but with that higher risk, there's often the higher rewards. That's a really good point. I did want to ask you, Necro, since we have you, and you are a pretty well-known FTL streamer yourself, you like to play really fast. Is there a particular reason that you like to play fast? Do you like to get more runs in, or is that just your play style? Why is it that you play so fast when you play FTL?
I think it's mostly just my play style. It's I did start as a streamer with Crypto the Necrodancer, and I was doing more speedruns for that. So I started off playing. I was playing a faster game then, and then I didn't really like how the other streamers that I was watching at the time for FTL would always read all of the events aloud. So I just didn't do that, and so I've gotten to the point where you can just very, very quickly identify exactly which event things are just by looking at other things, just by looking at
now. So are you particularly? How many times has that slug, that distressed slug in the slug sector, gotten you with its number of moons? If you're not much of a reader, because I'm not much of a reader either, and that slug has injured me a number of times.
Exactly what I have to do to catch that.
Okay, tell us. What do you do?
Always check if it's a distress beacon in a nebula, especially if it has a nebula background and the beacon itself didn't.
So you're just prepared, and you're prepared to read one word throughout the run, and then you're good.
Yep, pretty much.
So that event is always in slug sector. Is that correct?
It's always in the slug sector. It will always be on the distress beacon, and even if the beacon itself is a non-nebula beacon, it will always have a nebula background on it.
Okay. So there you go. People, you heard it here first. If you want to not miss out on the slug moon saving, that one's not Slocknog, because Slocknog's a different one. But the one where you save
also has a nebula background always.
Okay. You got to be in slug sector. You got to be a distress beacon. It's got to be a nebula background. If you know those three things, you can be ready to not miss the
to read, or you could just read, or you could just read. But
reading's boring.
Why?
For the week.
Let's go through the checklist, and then maybe we'll read some other time. It's fine.
Whew, there's a fire that NG's got to deal with. Pieboy's probably being happy he got that NG now, although it looks like venting is the call of the day to recover from this fire.
Pieboy did go ahead and get that other weapon upgrade. He does have the burst laser halberd combo, which is really strong with a
Very
Zoltan
nice.
shield. So he's got a good ship here.
So Necro, what's your upgrade path when you play Zoltan A? What do you like to get first?
I go for shields first, basically on every single ship.
Okay.
There's only a couple of exceptions. So I would have actually gone for shields 2 in sector 1. Then I probably would have gone for weapons second. Then I probably actually would have gone straight for weapons 5, so I can just get the burst laser online in this case, since they did get that fairly early. Though I probably would have actually used the Alito missile for a little bit between that time.
Ooh, MrPorcu's got those mortars. Let's hope that level 2 heal bay protects him here. Oh, that O2's going down.
If that O2 goes down, maybe that's why he predicted this with the level 2 O bay. He said, if that O2 goes down and I have weak crew, I will need a level 2 O bay or med bay. Let's go ahead and do that.
That was a good little move there, MrPorcu did. When his O2 was getting pretty low, he actually moved 2 of his Zoltans in the O2 to distract the Mantis from continuing to attack the O2. So that was a nice little micro move he did there, I would say.
Now, Necro, how long have you been playing FTL? You said you started off as as a Crypt of the Necrodancer, which is a great game. I have that, but I was terrible at it. Maybe if I play that, I'll improve my FTL skills. But how long have you been playing FTL?
So I think I started. I don't exactly remember when I started doing FTL, but I think I did it starting to stream in 2017, maybe 2016. It's been quite some time.
So and are you like me? Is it a game you just keep playing but just never really seem to get tired of, like myself?
I won't say I never get tired of it, but it depends.
Please don't say that. I'll feel bad if you.
I'm just a sicko. I'm realizing I'm sick. No, I need help.
Yeah, I do have over 4,000 hours of playtime in the game, so it's definitely I think definitely the thing that I've actually played most.
So NecroRebel, I got a question for you. I follow some other streamers, like the first FTL streamer that I was watching all the time back in the day was Mr. Beard Lethal Frag himself. Were you ever watching some of those other streamers as well?
Yeah, I mostly was watching Lethal Frag when I was first actually learning the game, then actually kind of was following him for a while, that kind of dropped off on that. Then actually Dolphin Chemist is the other major one.
Same with me. Yeah, I actually rage quit FTL for a long time because I was like, this game's too hard. It's no fun. And then I found it on Twitch and learned a bunch of things. So we are
and I do think that watching streamers play this game is a really, really good way to learn it.
Yeah, it's the only way you pick up some of the harder tricks. Yep.
Well,
and you're good at them. So
yeah, well, and what I'll say is a lot of times when people are new to the game who will come into Twitch and be like, I can't win with X. What do I do? It's like, well, that's a hard question because there are so many things you can do. Yeah,
very situational. Yeah.
So one of the best things I like to tell people is what you guys just said. Watch the really good players. Watch Dolphin Chemist. Watch Lethal Frag. Watch NecroRebel. Watch Freddy. Watch people who play a lot, and you learn a lot of these little tricks that kind of help you overcome a lot of these crazy challenges that FTL throws at you.
So we are about 25 minutes into the run, maybe 26 or 7 now, close to this. The scores are being calculated by the score you get from FTL and the time, and then a bonus for a flagship kill. And those scores are tallied and compared to see who the winner is.
Yeah, we're trying one of the biggest.
Porcu looking at hacking here. Click it. Nice. He clicked it. Good.
Always.
Now we have the NG advantage by Pieboy, and now we have the hacking Porcu advantage. So
yeah,
Pieboy does have more than a scrap here, though.
Yeah, he does. I'm wondering if he's saving up for that hacking. If the question is, how do I win with FTL? Usually the answer is by hacking.
Hacking. Yeah, that's a good idea. So they actually are in different sectors, so their store is not going to be the same.
Yeah, he's in that abandoned. It looks like he probably. I wonder if he's saving up even for cloaking, because cloaking is often the other good system choice.
He picked up a heavy laser as well. Heavy laser is so good with hacking, halberd. It's just it just really gets the damage in very nicely.
Yeah, it's a very strong weapon setup. He can win the run with that if he plays his cards right.
Yeah, his weapons are done. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Heavy laser, burst laser 1, halberd beam hacking. He can kill the boss with that. Now he just needs his defenses up.
Whereas Pieboy here is actually a little bit behind on weapons as compared, not in general in terms of the run, but as compared to Porcu, just a little bit. It's not quite as chunky on the weapons.
Yeah,
he still needs that shield punch from burst laser.
One thing I do like that Pieboy is doing here is he's keeping that. If you just saw, he had his his engine's fully powered until his Zoltan shield went down, and then swap power over to shields. That's a really nice way to maximize your Zoltan shield's effectiveness by keeping your dodge up until you actually need the 2 shields. So that's a nice play there.
It is
dodge
a good
on the
play,
missile.
and that requires some good hotkey knowability, which mine suffers a little bit. But yeah, if you know your hotkeys, Necro's really good at the hotkeys from what I've seen. He's really good at that.
Oh, yeah?
Hotkey is very helpful.
So you move your power around with hotkeys, NecroRebel? You use that strategy?
For the most part, yes. It depends on the system. Like when I'm doing the hacking trick, I don't do that. Maybe we should talk about that too, since I assume that MrPorcu will be using that quite a bit pretty soon. But yeah, when I'm doing the hacking trick, I actually use the mouse for that. But yeah, when I'm just moving power around from like my oxygen to my engines, when I have not enough power, yeah, I'll just use hotkeys for it.
So people that use a lot of hotkeys like yourself, I've always wondered, do you have a 63 button mouse to do this, or is it all just keyboard or foot pedals or an implant, or how are you using so many hotkeys?
Oh yes. Or do you change your hotkeys so that they're not the default ones? How do you do it, Necro?
I believe that I have all the hotkeys aside from the crystal lockdown on default. So yeah, I just use the mouse. I just use the keyboard.
Okay. So something like, was it Control A, S, D, and then Shift to like add and remove? Is it something like that? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's I don't remember actually offhand what the actual buttons are, but it's certain buttons to I think it's ASDF and actually most of the middle row.
Yeah, well the default actually
add
had
power
to
and then
change.
shift to take away power.
I installed it when you install the mod here, it actually resets the config file. So I noticed the other day hacking, I think, and mind control was M, so all the way kind of far to the left, and then N. So I, generally try to keep everything for your left hand. Everything is sprouted.
Not to use. Yeah,
you
so
actually use M and N all the way on the right there. Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
That is awkward, yeah.
The secret is having 3 hands, apparently. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, or giant hands. You got like those crazy classical piano things that can reach 20 octaves with your hands. It's crazy.
Third appendage. Right. Nice.
All right, so MrPorcu's got a fight with what we haven't talked about here, and the biggest reason I get salty at this darn game is frickin' missiles and bombs. And what do you think? This might be the question I get asked the most on my stream. How do you balance missiles in FTL? Do either you have an answer? How would you balance missiles?
What I always think that they should do is I think that they should move missiles to a new system. Like they would just have a completely separate weapon system that only has 1 slot that can only use missiles. It would prevent enemies from having multiple missiles. It would make it so that you could actually disable the missiles for sure. Mm-hmm. I think that would be actually the best option.
Would you still have missile ammo?
It depends upon how exactly they did it, but they could or could not still have ammo at that point.
Yeah, it's tough.
I personally enjoy eating them in my hull. So as many, the more the merrier. It's wonderful. They taste great.
Well, that's an interesting. That's actually the first time, Necro, I've heard somebody suggest moving missiles to be a completely different system. Because the only way I thought of that felt like you could slightly balance missiles to make them a little less punishing when the AI rolls them, is to make enemies just have fewer consumables. And I don't know if that would fix the problem, but I feel like it would make it less imbalanced when you get, like Pieboy just received, a 3 damage missile, bypassing all your shields.
The Hermes is always, that's the worst one. It's always so brutal. Yeah, FTL is a game of attrition. It's who can survive all of these fights, receiving all of this damage, and you're gonna win some battles, but it's a war of attrition.
All right, wow, look at that. Is MrPorcu diving, or is that just a crazy strong ship? Because that's 3
just
shields.
A strong ship for Sector 4.
Whew. That's 3 shields. That is what, 6 weapon power? That's or 5 weapon power, 5 or 6, depending on what that bomb is. It's a small bomb. Ooh, that's a scary ship right there.
Yeah, if I was him, I'd be using the Burst Laser 1 instead of the Heavy Laser small bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what do you think about this shield hack too? Probably might want to go for engines there.
Engines are. I would have gone for engines or piloting. Use the Burst Laser 1 instead of the other 2 weapons here.
Okay. I was almost thinking
he's taking small bomb damage too, and it just hit the hacking, and that is rough.
Honestly, I was thinking of hacking his weapons here, because with only level 1 hacking, that's a scary weapon system. But He's
His
surviving, but
FTL
this
is
is
his
rough.
FTL drive is open and available if he wants to leave.
Yeah, it's true. He can run.
But stick it
Okay.
out, Porcu. You got this, buddy. We believe in you.
Well,
it's-
realizing when you need to run is one of the actual harder things in this game in many ways too.
That's a
good
great
point.
point. That's actually
Yeah.
something I learned from watching you, Necro, a little bit. Was there's fight. You don't have to win every fight to win the round, win the run. You
And if
just
you're
have to
stubborn
win
like
enough.
me, you never run. You're like, no, I will get this scrap even if I die. You know.
That's something I learned from myself, not from NecroRebel. That I already had figured out.
You had that stubbornness already in there. Okay,
Yeah,
good.
I actually will return to ships sometimes that I had to run from, get an upgrade, and go back to it and say, I'm going to Ahab this fool. I'm going to Captain Ahab this guy. We're killing this whale.
All right, let's see if we can get this final shot. There it is. Okay. Whew, that was a tough fight, but his health is still looking pretty good. His systems aren't looking good. So that's a pretty good recovery right there, I would say.
That was nice. Yep.
All right. So what I will say about MrPorcu, he has no crew other than a starting crew, and that's pretty rough, especially if you get some pretty bad boarding events. This is a little sketchy crew-wise. I would possibly look at investing in even spending scrap on crew if he doesn't find any free anytime soon.
Now, Necro, where do you think? What do you think of the scoring method in terms of, we're doing it based on? I mean, it's interesting. Last night we had a couple practice runs. I had a 5,000 run in 46 minutes, but scored a 210, which is pretty high.
Yeah.
And then I had a 6,000, almost 6,100 run, but it took an hour and 13 minutes and scored a 201. So what are your thoughts, Necro, on the combination of doing kind of a score with
Time and score?
Yeah.
Well, as we were talking about earlier, I tend to play fairly fast, so I doubt that this will be a problem for me. But
so it's great for you. Yeah,
so
he loves
he's got
it.
an
Of course,
advantage.
he loves it.
Really, he's got an advantage.
So-
Yeah,
It's great.
I'm kind of on the fence about whether you actually want to go for score or time. I think you kind of want to balance those, but I don't exactly know where the balance will be. So
that's a really what
I'm
what
actually
you just said.
kind of thinking that going for bio kills might actually be a good choice, though. Just you do get the extra score because it oftentimes doesn't take that much more time.
How
Yeah.
many
It
how many
depends on
runs have
how
you
you're doing
scored?
bio kills, though.
Yeah, how many runs have you scored out, and then what do you think? So you think the bio kill strategy got you better practice runs, or how many times have you tried that versus just blowing them up?
I haven't really tried it most of the time, but I noticed that my teleporter runs don't actually tend to take significantly longer than my non-teleporter runs, for example.
Mhm.
So
So do you think the
I
extra
don't
scrap
usually
might
go
actually be
down
worth?
with it, though.
So you think the extra scrap from the bio kills might actually be worth if it's not adding too much time, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, one thing I will
we're both
say
going.
is,
We're both at late NG4 sector here, getting to go to NG sector 5. What's interesting is these runs are very similar so far, and we're actually at almost the exact same point in the game. So it may come down to the wire, or 50 difference in scrap, or just a slight difference in FTL score.
well, difference I do see, and that I do like that Pieboy is doing, even though he's missing a heavy laser, he's got that level 2 hacking, and a level 2 hacking is a huge upgrade.
Yeah,
from
Mr.
level 1
Porcu
hacking.
really needs to invest. He's got scrap to invest in level 2 hacking right
Mhm.
now. Do it. Click it, Porcu. Click it. You need it.
We need that level 2 hacking, because without that,
Oh,
those
man.
3 shield chips are a lot harder. He's got 1 extra
They're so
projectile, but
brutal.
I just want that extra hacking for the guaranteed shield going down.
Level 2 hacking is so good. 1 is actually not that great unless you're just hacking engines, but he doesn't have the volley for that. He really
You
needs
notice,
level
Mr.
2.
Porcu, this is the NG event that because Pieboy had the NG, he had the blue option for that extra scrap. So I think, and the NG investment has more than paid off for Pieboy so far.
Yeah,
It
I think
has.
Pieboy will actually probably start to pull ahead now just because of that and because of his actually kind of better upgrade path with the hacking too. He also has an extra point in engines, which and he has more scrap. So yeah, I think he's definitely ahead right now.
Pieboy, yeah. And look, he's getting that level 2 hack in. He just nuked those shields and nuked that ship there.
That was great.
And his shields are on fire. Oh no. Oh no, and his
Oh.
hull is getting the red.
Oh,
no.
that's not good.
Vent! No, get the Sultans out! Vent! No.
You need to get that
And he
NG over there.
decided
Get the NG in! Yes! Okay. Woo!
Okay,
Oh no, and
all right.
his engines are going down too. He's not gonna
he's
have
got 11
any
health.
dodge.
Run to the store. That's the play.
Store
Run.
sounds good. Okay, this is a great
There you
example
go.
of a fight you don't need to take. Just
You
get
got
the
to know
hell
when
out
to
of
hold
there.
them, know when to
and
fold
fold
them,
'em.
know when to walk away. That's the time to run. That was the time to run.
That was a
Whew.
great decision making there by
He needs to
Pieboy.
not
Just
forget
to
to
get out of there. And
Yeah.
get out of there, and just get out of there before those engines were completely down, because they shortly went down after.
Ooh, now he's glad he's banking that scrap because he's spending that all on repairs, or at least a big chunk of it.
Oh, my heart.
We get to hear what the salt of Freddy sounds like for a second there.
See, if I were him, I'd actually be investing in Shields 3 at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because your offense is good with hacking. You just need those shields to stop that.
Would you want to see
projectile.
Interesting question for you? Interesting strategy question for you, NecroRebel. And I know what my answer would be, but if this store that he's at had cloaking, would you sell your Zoltan shields or do something drastic to get cloaking and go ahead and try to seal this run up?
I would not.
I feel like
you're
it's
likely
early
enough
for
to
that,
find
right?
cloaking here that you don't need to go for it here.
Yeah. I would say I don't think cloaking's a bad play, but selling Zoltan Shield to get it, unless you're like late game desperate, I think a Zoltan Shield is strong enough to not sell yet.
Yeah, if I was going to sell anything here, it'd be the Burst Laser 1, but as I said, I would not sell that here.
Okay, well, Pieboy is through the woods.
What about crew too? What do you think about crew? We're in Sector 5. Both these ships are light on crew. I'm kind of eyeballing this human here, thinking maybe I need a crew.
I would have gone for doors up at this point, especially if I go into a sector that's actually heavy on borders like Mantis, Rock, abandoned sector. I'd probably try to avoid as much as possible, but Mantis or Rock sectors, even the Zoltan sector, I'd actually probably get the doors up for this.
I'd even consider the Burst Laser 1 there. The Burst Laser 1 for a couple extra projectiles. It's not great, but I don't know, maybe it's a little too early to be investing too much in another Burst Laser 1.
That'd be hard to get. Yeah, that'd be hard to get online. I think he's got the hacking.
All right, well, looks like
double drone fight for Porcu.
He still doesn't have that level 2 hacking upgrade, and I'm feeling it, man. I'm feeling it.
Now, pausing is allowed in this tournament. Actually, I played no pause for so long that maybe I need to kind of get used to pausing in these critical situations once again, because that little 1 or 2 second pause could save you, and I see Porcu is taking advantage of that.
Yeah, I kind of think what might be the best strategy in the format we're doing is not no pause, but as little pausing as you can while still maximizing your place, your min-maxing your game while pausing as little as possible. Because I think there are times, especially when you get boarded, that a 1 second pause is worth the time to take.
Do you plan on pausing at all, NecroRebel? And would that actually be difficult because you haven't done it in so long?
I'm thinking that I probably should pause, but I'm thinking it'll probably be pretty difficult for me.
But I'm too stubborn. Yeah.
Especially
I'm
gonna
Ahab my pause
button.
We're gonna go kill that whale.
Like if you're using multiple beam weapons at once, it's really, 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 really difficult to actually target them all optimally, and that can make the difference between like a 30-second fight and a 45-second fight. Like that's very significant then.
Yeah, I actually value beams lower in hard mode no pause because of the micro requirement, because it can be really tough to get. Oh, that's a
boarding drone inside piloting with the medbay on fire like that. That's pretty rough.
That is really rough. Hopefully,
it is
at least
really
his weapons
on
are down.
fire.
He did get those weapons down. So once he knocks them down, at least then he'll be able to recover from this. But that boarding drone and the piloting is
and doesn't have the external airlocks open there either, so that fire's not going out very fast.
All right, now that the ship's dead, at least he can deal with it. But this is going to cost him time, and that's
are all runs like this in FTL, but these are some very heavily fiery runs I've noticed. maybe I'm just.
What are you talking about? All my runs, I'm on fire all the time. I don't know what you're talking about.
Rand's like, no, it looks pretty typical.
Typical run. Breaches, fires everywhere. That's usually what I encounter. But you all talked about the scoring earlier, and I actually do want to talk about that a little bit, because one of the hardest things that we were trying to do when coming up with the idea for this tournament. Okay, I got it.
Wait, this is the fight.
4 more fires. It's
oh no! Oh, this is a replay from earlier.
That Zoltan's almost dead.
Get him out! Oh, he lost one. He's losing the other one, I think. Oh, get him out of there! Move him! Get out! Oh, okay, he's out.
Oh no, that's not good.
Okay, jump. Wait for your rewards, then jump. Does he have a store? Is the question.
He should have a store. It's the same one as
but his heel bay's on fire too. Oh no.
Same story, just a little bit behind.
He took those Zoltans out of the med bay before that. I think he just lost both of them.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh
it's
no.
lagging. Did he
This
lose
is
both? Let's see.
this has been an emergency store for
He
both
needs to,
players.
yeah, pause, then close and see. He's got crew, so he might be able to recover it, but he needs to. He's looking at the screen. I think he doesn't want to see what's behind the screen right now. Oh God, get those guys
You need
out.
those Zoltans out of the med bay before it goes down.
Yes, he
Otherwise,
does.
at least the one of them is going to die for sure.
Okay, all right.
Okay, saved
Whew.
him. And
Still
his
losing
level,
one.
he actually has a level 2 O2 upgrade here, which may, if there was a hole or the med bay was already vented or something because his crew's so low health, that may actually would have saved him, because that is a very dangerous situation.
Yeah. Well, he recovered, but the loss of one Zoltan is pretty huge because it's not just a crew loss, that's a power loss. So that's rough.
And we
Where
were
do
saying
you-
earlier, this is already a low crew run, so
Mhm.
that crew loss is very painful.
What's the biggest weakness? We all know Zoltan A is a strong ship, Necro, but what do you think the biggest weakness of this ship is? Is it the crew?
I think so.
Yeah, I would agree.
It does start with that level 2 door system, but for the most part, that's not really that great long term.
Yeah.
And I'm being told we're coming up on 45 minutes for the run. So
Okay.
a speedy run. I think you probably want to shoot for about an hour. And
Mhm.
if one of these guys manages to pick up cloaking, they may be able to get that done. But
Yeah.
a fast run would be in the mid to high 40s, and a slower run would be like an hour, a little over an hour 15 minutes. But probably about an
Pieboy's
hour is what they
open.
want to shoot for.
Pieboy's
So I'm
got
pretty
that
sure
scrap.
that quest there in the top right is going to be
Uh-huh.
the stealth cruiser quests. Correct one. I'm pretty sure I saw these stealth cruiser quests wrong.
Ooh,
First
Pieboy
off,
gets that
Pieboy.
cloaking.
Pieboy has cloaking. He has cloaking.
That's good.
Okay,
He banked
clicked
up
it.
that scrap, and that pays off right there. That's a huge pickup right there.
And now,
So you think that's the correct stealth quest up to the right?
I think so.
Is that the free repair after you do that
No,
fight?
that would be the second part of it.
Oh, okay. So it's the correct first part of the stealth quest.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
I gotta say, Pieboy's ship's looking pretty good. The DPS is maybe a little light, but he's got that level 2 hacking, cloaking, and he's looking for luxury upgrades. He definitely has a ship he can win with now.
Well, I'll let you all know when I get hacking and cloaking, what we call that on my stream is having the max OP-ness. So he's got the max OP-ness right now. Hacking and cloaking is the max OP-ness, so he's ready to go.
I'm
what do you
usually
look
looking.
for third
I'm
system on
usually
that?
looking for clacking or hoking, so I try not to.
What do you
That's
go
also
for the
very
third
strong.
system on those things? I usually go for mind control for my last one. If I
Yeah.
don't have to start with another one.
If I can get mind control with those two systems, that is actually how I based a lot of the ships on my tier list. Is if I can get all three of those systems, they're kind of up a tier, because being forced to have artillery or teleporter on a less than optimal boarding ship, I would love to have mind control, hacking, and cloaking on every ship.
It'd be
So,
great. It'd be great for these ships, because really on these runs, we just haven't seen a lot of crew, and we're
Mhm.
still sitting with Zoltans, and borders are going to be a problem in phase 3.
Oh yeah, yeah.
For sure.
This is hacking and cloaking is great, but if you get boarded by 4 Mantis with this crew, you are still pretty scared of dying right there. All
That's
right.
What is
double
your
effort,
what do you think the best boarding ship? What do you rate the highest boarding ship, Necro? I know you're a fan of the Mantis A. That is not one of my favorite ships, but you play it pretty well. What do you see the best boarding ship to be?
I'm pretty sure I actually have the Crystal B as the highest ranked boarding ship.
Oh, okay.
Let me
And that's
check my
just
really
done
quick.
on win rate, on your win rate records,
Yeah.
right? It's just purely
Crystal B.
math.
Okay.
Crystal
And
B,
that's
okay.
above Lanius B as well?
Yeah, but actually quite a bit. I have Lenny's B
Wow.
actually down at number 8. Lenny's B, I know
Wow.
that a lot of people think is a great ship, and it certainly is. I think though that it is it has a relatively low skill ceiling. Like you get to the point where you just can't really play it any better, because it is actually pretty easy to play. So it's very, very easy to play. Just you can't really play it better though. So I think at my level, I've gotten to the point where I can't really improve that much.
I agree with the
Interesting.
Lanius B. Is that I say this a lot when you're on the flagship. You'll get a flagship win very frequently with that ship, but you generally don't have this super overwhelming victory because you're limited to purchasing one system.
Yeah, that's very true. That's something that a lot of people don't think about, is the upgrade path is pretty limited when you have so many systems forced on you at the beginning.
Yeah, it's got the mind control teleporter. You can get hacking or cloaking, one or the other.
Yeah.
Or drone
Well-
control. That's your fancy,
Mm-hmm. Well, these fights with lots of consumables, all these drones, all these missiles, these are some of the scariest ones. Even if it's just a single missile, it can really ruin your day. But I think Mr.
Porcu here, he's still rocking the level 2 hacking. That is starting to get
the level
painful
1
to look
hacking
at,
is
to
still
be
definitely
honest.
hurting him here.
That's I think the number one thing we could say that Mr. Porcu could have done to make this run better is just upgrade that hacking. Ooh, he's taking some damage from these drones.
Upgrade that hacking before the hull needs upgrading here.
Yeah, he's taking damage from these drones because he can't kill them because of the level 1 hacking.
Yeah.
Offense trumps defense in this game. It's always been the case. So that's
down to 3 health from that.
That's 2 more than you need.
There you go. That's the optimistic view. But he does survive.
He still does have the Zoltan shield, but he is get the hacking up here, Porcu. Hacking.
Yeah,
Click
hacking and you're fine. Without hacking,
yeah, hacking is more important than repairs at this point.
Yeah, because
it is.
His not having hacking is costing him.
30
not having
damage.
hacking is costing him damage, like you said. So the repairs he got to invest is because his hacking was not upgraded.
Yep. And that's why I'm starting to question some of the upgrades, like the medbay upgrade. I understand the logic of it early on, but you know, FTL, your scrap's so limited. So you know, later on, he's struggling to find that 35 scrap with the position where his hull is in because he's got some other upgrades that maybe they look nice at the time, but now maybe we're paying the price for those.
Yeah, I think subsystem upgrades is something that can be a big question mark for people. It's like, should I upgrade my doors? Well, if your offense isn't on par, that might be a luxury to actually have upgraded doors, you know?
Yeah, I don't know where that mantis he has came from. I'm actually hoping he didn't buy it because I don't think that would be a wise use of scrap.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I missed when he picked it up too, so I don't know if that was I think it might have been a store purchase though. Okay. Pieboy's got the famous concede ship, the shieldless
I think that ship's French. It's I surrender.
I surrender. Oh, and look at that. Mr. Porcu spending all that scrap on repairs, man. That hurts my soul to see those repairs upgrade when he still's got level 2
hacking. Level 1 hacking. Still level 1, Porcu. Yeah, I agree with Necro there. What he just said is that actually level 2 hacking more important than getting the ship repairs of this. Oh, but he finds a flag.
Quite a bit.
No punish.
It's also hard to get online, but that's just another shot right now. Like he can turn off.
Well, yeah. Well, he can go back. He can go back to hacking engines and then get through shields now with that flag. That was such a good find for him.
That's the answer to the question. How do I win FTL? Just get a free flag.
Find flags. Yeah,
Porcu. Get the free flag.
Showing how to do it there. Good job.
Pieboy, on the other hand, has a 4-shield ship here, which he does have the weapons to deal with here, but
and he's got the hacking. So, but that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's a 7-power weapon system and 4 shields. What sector is this? Sector 6? Because that's Sector 6. That's a really strong ship.
Sector 6,
interesting swipe from Pieboy there. He swiped from shields to piloting. Okay, now he's going for the more typical weapon.
But well, he does have cloaking, so he's probably planning on cloaking the first volley and hoping he could get those shields down so his next volley could get through. But this is that's a shield hit with humans in his shields. That's
I like Pieboy's ship here. It just needs a little more.
Yeah, this is actually the self-purge quest last part. I just realized
this is okay. So he gets the repair from this event. No wonder the ship was so strong. It's the end of that. Very nice.
Yeah, 12-point hull repair, 58 scrap, system casing. That's a great find. That's worth a whole ton. That's I like 98 scrap and 12 repairs. So like that's over 100 scrap right there. That's worth a ton.
This is kind of one of those better lucky than good moments because Mr. Porcu got the free flak, so his weapon's looking good. Pieboy has a better system upgrade, but he hasn't got as many free weapons, so he's feeling a little bit low on the offensive setup right now.
What's interesting so far is
investing more in defense with him, though. I still think that he should have gone for Shield 3 quite some time ago
instead of the engines that he got.
Yeah.
Pieboy's engines are off the charts there. Level 5 is very high at this point in the game.
He is definitely upgrading engines quicker than I would. I like
see
5
you
engines.
do that too. I see you do that too a lot, NecroRebel. You'll get kind of high engines, and I remember you explained it as one time as well. I started getting higher engines and I started winning more. Right?
Yeah, that's definitely true. I usually aim for level 4 engines after Shield 3, though, most of the time.
Okay.
It depends upon exactly when I just have them scrap for those. But I'll usually aim for level 4 engines. Then once I get backup battery, I'll usually aim for level 6 engines, because now I just have a place to put the backup battery easily, and can still have level 4 engines for 100% dodge with cloaking.
That is interesting.
Do you look for the backup
6 engines? You said you go up to 6?
Yes, for the end game most of the time.
Okay.
Do you look for backup battery almost every run?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I think I was one of the first major streamers to actually start using backup battery a lot, and it is awesome.
Woo, that's a great.
2 extra power is like 2 extra power for very, very cheap. There, it's just excellent.
I highly agree. I think a lot of people undervalue backup battery. That extra power, even though it's not full term, what it also is, it's another system that can absorb hacking in the boss fight. And I think an extra system that can make your weapons or shields not get hacked is actually rather valuable.
Yeah,
this is a reference to my stream. Pieboy has just named his NG in the doors. Silly device.
I like that we have time for renaming NGs and for a little memification. I think that's great.
That's a great meme. Well done.
Although having 2 fuel is a little bit spooky here, so I don't know.
Might also
maybe
be a meme.
maybe that's his lucky fuel NG. Who knows?
All right. So Pieboy is, I think, far ahead, but this low fuel might force a dive in a little bit here, which is a little sketchy. MrPorcu's got a store. It looks like he's buying crew. If he buys crew before that second hacking, I
thought FTL made me ragey, but Porcu's making me salty here.
What was that, Necro? What'd you say?
Yeah, the not buying hacking is not so much of a problem if he has that flak 1, but it looks like he sold the burster 1, which I would not have done.
Yeah. Oh, he's sitting. All 3 of us are just aching while that 85 scrap is sitting there, not going into level 2 hacking.
I hope Porcu doesn't go back and watch this and feel like we're trying to give him a hard time, because really it's happening naturally. We're not trying. It's just we would just love to see him have that level 2 hacking though.
I think it would make his life a lot easier. You know what? This is really interesting. If we could critique people's play, this might be a way to help people get better at FTL. See these like mistakes that people make, common mistakes, like just upgrading hacking would be a huge difference maker in this run.
I think so too. I think if you have someone who has a chance to bounce off a few ideas with you, and just that's where you really learn. That's why people are so good at FTL now, is because you watch tricks other people do and things other people do and learn from them.
So what we haven't talked about is the hacking trick, and I think Pieboy just had to get his hacking by. Okay, so we could talk about that a little bit for those who don't know. Who wants to describe how? Yeah,
Necro, give us a rundown of the hacking trick and how you do it.
How to bypass those defense drones.
So when the hacking
burst laser 2, timeout. Burst laser 2, clicked. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, on Pieboy's side, that's a great buy.
Yeah,
I actually don't think I would buy it on Porcu's side though, because it's just like he just needs to invest in other things too much.
Yeah.
So the hacking trick. So enemy defensive drones will lead their shots, firing where the incoming drone or missile or whatever is going to be, rather than where it is. So if you depower the incoming hacking drone, or it actually works with boarding drones and non-intruders also, but not that much. If you depowered it just as the enemy weapon or just as the enemy defensive drones fires, the defensive drone shot will go through where the drone would have been, but since the hacking drone just stops when you depower it, it's not there anymore, so it can just get through. Also, if you just depower and repower the drone at just the right cadence and just the right timing, it also does work. So that's how I usually do it. But
and that's how you do it in hard mode no pause. Since you can't pause, you kind of have to get that timing down to get that in hard mode no pause.
Yeah, especially when the enemies have 3 or 4 drones.
And what I love about that trick is a lot of people will say, oh, that's an exploit. But the devs have actually come out and said that they like that trick because it's using the game mechanics to kind of outplay the AI. So that's one of those things we are allowing in the tournament because it's kind of a skill thing and a learned skill. So it's definitely something that newer players should look at learning if they want to use hacking in this game.
Yeah, it's definitely something that should be
It's
allowed,
one of the reasons why hacking is so strong.
It is. It's how you consistently win runs. And Pieboy here at the last shop did pick up that mind control. So his ship is really looking very disgusting. And
all he needs is upgrade.
He needs scrap and maybe a crew or two, and he should be able to put a whooping on the flagship.
Yeah.
No
Well, Mr.
pressure.
Porcu's sitting at that 69 scrap, and hey, look at that. Mr. Porcu has a level 2 hacking. He must have finally heard us.
Yes, thank you.
Of course,
His
he's going
weapons
to
are
be
looking
level
great.
3 by Sector 7 or so.
Yeah, it's behind, that's for sure. But his weapons will hopefully make up for that because that Flak 1 heavy laser halberd beam, those are 3 of my favorite weapons of the game right there.
For sure, those are all top tier.
Yeah,
Let's
both
see.
the weapon loadouts on both these guys' ship is very good.
Mm-hmm.
Pieboy looking at that anti-bio beam. I don't think it's the right choice here, though.
I think that's another meme to my stream because I once said, I don't think anti-bio beam can appear in stores. And now, 3 years later, people still go, hey, Rand, did you know that you can find anti-bio beam in stores? So I'm pretty sure
That's what's great about
them.
Twitch. They have a long memory of the slightest mistakes anyone's ever made in their life.
So Pieboy makes sure to get all the memes in this run. He can't miss a single one. Ooh, that's some boarding trouble over on Mr. Porcu's side, though.
Oh, we got humans again.
Humans
taking advantage of the pausing capability.
Why are humans the worst thing ever? Humans just need to be vented at all times. So it looks like he's venting them, which I hardly approve of.
Maybe that mantis is going to come in handy here now.
Hopefully.
He does have level 3 doors and then has that man too, though. So they're going to be taking a lot of suffocation damage.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think he'll have too much trouble with this now.
Not too much trouble, but it is costing him time. And
there's a lot of time invested.
It is some time. And there's another 4-shield ship in a slug sector with Pieboy, or this might be a pirate sector, actually.
It's interesting. He's swiping through shields continually. I find that to be an interesting tactic.
Interesting. What would you prefer? Going through the weapons or what?
I here would actually swipe through engines, cloaking, weapons, and doors and get that 8 damage. It gets the cloaking down potentially so you can shoot faster and then also get some weapons offline. But he's not too concerned with weapons because, you know, he does have the shields and the Zoltan shields and cloaking. So
yeah,
it's an interesting difference of strategy.
In sectors 1 and 2, when you can actually start the beam in the shields room when the enemies only have 1 shield, actually it works in sector 3 to a lesser extent, you can deal extra damage with that. But once you have another laser weapon, it doesn't matter anymore because you're already taking that shield down that would go down from the damage.
Okay. Yeah, and that is interesting because on that particular ship that he was just fighting, both swipes get the same amount of damage. He chose to get shields down in hopes to get his next volley through possibly, while you would prefer to get the weapons down so that he's safer from future volleys, it sounds like.
Yes.
So kind of both are pretty good options. I will say that ship was also running, so he might have been thinking, well, if I get a shields down, maybe I can kill him before he runs. So even piloting might have been the right choice there to get him from stop the
that's
escape.
one great thing about halberd beam is it causes what I call disruption, ship disruption. It gets that pilot off piloting when they're trying to run away because it damages so many systems at once. The AI wants to go fix those.
Yeah, that's a great
so
point.
the AI will prefer to do repairs over piloting if there's as many systems damaged as they have crew. So
yeah, we do have we just
systems is great sometimes.
Yeah. We just crossed the 60-minute mark here. Interesting difference in sector choices here. Porcu went Zoltan. Yeah. Pieboy went Slug Home Nebula. Either one can be a little bit difficult.
7, correct?
Yeah, coming into Sector 7.
Those, I think, are 2 of the worst choices. I've come to, especially in playing Harba No Pause, dread late Zoltan sectors because Zoltan Border Police can be super punishing, and their ships are so strong this late. So
I agree. Zoltan sectors, I tend to avoid those anymore. Any even as early as Sector 2 or 3, because trying to get through those Zoltan shields, you end up eating so much damage. Sector 7, it's really nice to see a civilian or NG sector, especially if Porcu, in his case here, if he was able to get one of those, because he does need stores for additional systems.
And what were you going to say, Necro, about Zoltan sectors?
I was going to say that the worst sector I would say for Sector 7 would be abandoned sectors, but yeah, Zoltan sectors are definitely up there. I don't actually really mind slug sectors quite so much, though. If you have
as long as you have
hacking,
auction, right? I assume
as long as
you have hacking.
For sure. If you have level 2 auction, though, most of the events that actually cause problems for people just don't cause problems.
And that's exactly what Pieboy did. He got that level 202 for the slug sector, so that's really smart.
Yeah, I'll usually aim to go for level 202 as soon as I see a slug sector or in sector 8, because it stops losing O2 in the potential auction hack.
Yeah,
also
and there's
easier.
And there's also less prevalent. There's occasionally that free medbay hack, I believe. So sometimes level 2 medbay can save you from something, but it's mainly getting that level 202 because I think there's 2 events that
Yeah.
level 202 gives you a blue option to just bypass that free hack they get.
You got to be up to that slug
Yeah.
trickery in Sector 7 there and watch
so
out for it.
slimy.
Otherwise, they
They're
are
so
slimy.
slimy.
Those little slugs and frangies, man, they're 2 peas in a pod.
All right. So Pieboy's coming to end of Sector 7, so I'm a little surprised he hasn't got the 3rd shield, like Necro was saying. I would be expecting him to have that 3rd shield by now.
Yeah,
I would
his
have had
ship's,
it in Sector 4.
his ship is so strong, honestly, that I mean, he's obviously managing without it. But yeah, I would expect to see that very soon. Maybe he wants to check out that last store for some crew or something.
That's
A couple
Maybe
more
he's looking
crew
for
would
another
be
weapon.
good. He's not with the halberd beam. It's tough to get bio kills on phase 1 with the flagship. So
Yeah.
some extra crew, even with the mind control, some extra crew would be nice here for him.
So
I think with
the
the Zoltan shield though, and the weapons he has, I think that he'll be able to kill the flagship fight quickly enough that he won't get boarded more than twice.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do agree with that. It should go fairly well, but it is worth hitting that store up, don't you think? At the end there, Necro, maybe look for a little something juicy.
Yeah,
Maybe a heavy laser Mark 1. Heavy laser Mark 1 would be a great pick. Swap out for burst laser here because it'd be easy to get online.
What is your you two? What do you prefer on the boss fights phase 1? Do you take extra damage in order to get extra crew kills, or are you trying to get through these phases?
I'm all about taking damage, baby.
It depends on what I have. That's a very complicated question. If I think I can get their entire crew wiped out, I'll go for it. Especially if I have like a fire beam, like that's something I'll definitely go for. But if I had this weapon set up that MrPorcu has here, I would not go for the bio kills. I'd just go straight for the kill.
Okay.
What do you think of Porcu's odds here? What do you think of Porcu's odds here without that cloaking? Is there? I mean, there's always a chance you don't make it, but is that going to make it exceptionally tougher for him?
With his defenses as weak as they are, it definitely is.
Yeah.
I'm thinking MrPorcu's in trouble here.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing.
I feel like he wants to get cloaking now, but I feel like he's kind of, unless he just gets a really lucky store, he might be too far behind, honestly, in his upgrades.
He needs that cloaking for this next store, and they are in different sectors, but the stores are going to be different.
Yeah,
he does have scrap for it,
and he's in the Zoltan sector, so it's a higher chance of more stores. So he's already checked one, and it looks like he did not get the cloaking yet. So he's a little on the edge here.
Oh, Pieboy taking some damage here. He's getting out of that fight.
That was an 8-power weapon system, I believe he was just facing. So that's always scary, even in Sector 7
here, which is definitely a problem for him too.
Thankfully, in a nebula, at least he has a few more chances, a little more time, but still, that's the second time he's run out of fuel. He's not been getting lucky with fuel this run.
Okay. How are you planning on it? Do you think nerves is going to be a factor, NecroRebel, or are they going to be a factor for you? Do you think for some other players potentially?
I think for some players it definitely will be. I don't think it'll particularly be a problem for me. Both because I have actually taken part in some online tournaments before, not for this game, of course, but for.
I was curious.
Are you? Well, NecroDancer had some big tournaments. Have you done those?
Yeah, that was a couple of years ago now. I haven't actually played NecroDancer that much in the last couple of years, but yes,
Did I have actually taken in a Binding of Isaac tournament previously, or not? Did you participate in a Binding of Isaac tournament previously?
No, I've never played Binding of Isaac.
Okay, sorry. Your name sounded familiar, and I didn't know if you had. And you said you had participated in other. What other games have you played?
Just NecroDancer, but yeah, that is
Is that where your screen name comes from NecroDancer?
Actually, no.
Oh, okay. I thought I was being clever and figured something out, but no. Okay, where'd it come from?
So it came from a tabletop war game called Mage Knight that I played in high school. The two armies that I collected for that were the Necropolis sect and the Black Powder Rebels. And so yeah, it just Necro from Necropolis sect, Rebel from Black Powder Rebels.
So just a coinky dink with NecroDancer, got it.
Yeah, just a huge coincidence that there's
a happy little coincidence.
I have NecroDancer and Rebels.
Happy little accident.
Burger in chat says he just found all your figures this weekend. It looks like you have somebody else who plays that in chat here. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I actually
right,
think I sold all my figures a couple years ago. So yeah, I don't have any of those anymore.
Pieboy, he did not. Did we just see a store for Pieboy and
Yeah,
did not
he's going to
purchase
a store
crew?
with
No crew.
267 scrap.
Burst Laser 2!
Another Burst Laser 2.
Probably not the right purchase here, but still exciting to see every time.
Oh, well,
he is
he's got the
calculating.
scrap.
He's calculating.
He's got the scrap. I think he does
It's
it.
probably
I think he's
it's
gonna
probably
do
not
it.
worth it here, but I think he's doing well enough that he can probably manage it.
He can afford it
Yeah.
if he wants to. Burst Laser 2, Pieboy. Burst Laser 2.
Can you hear?
Click it. Click it.
Can you hear
it's
Freddy?
close. He's teasing us so
debating
many
for
times.
sure.
He's teasing us. Oh,
He's doing it. I think he's doing it.
No, he's going to use the
Oh.
one.
He's just gonna use the one.
He's spending a good
He's
bit of time
debating us.
calculating. Every
I'm gonna do
moment
it. No,
here.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
Every
I'm not
moment
gonna
here
do it.
spent at the store will decrease his score. So
That's
he
true.
needs to make a choice.
That's true. You kind of got to make these decisions quick if you want to keep your score high.
This is really, really troubling for Pieboy. What to do here?
Yeah,
I think
like
he
I
could have
said,
delayed
I
that
think that
hacking.
buying the Burst Leader 2 is objectively the wrong decision. Like it's
Mm.
a really, really big investment for not really that much benefit.
It's for
Like,
one
it's
extra
basically
shot.
55 scrap to trade the Burst
Yeah.
Leader 1 for the Burst Leader 2, and that's one
Yeah.
extra shot. He doesn't need it.
Yeah.
But I think it's a fun choice. So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. I'm with you, Necro. He doesn't need it. It's not the right call. I'm totally clicking it.
He's showing us. He's showing us. I want it, but
I think he's struggling at this store for so long because it is a Burst Laser 2. Any other weapon, I think he would have left already.
yeah. Well, I think he made the disciplined choice, which is probably in a tournament like this, you're going to have to do that. You're going to have to make maybe not the choice you would make if you were playing the game for fun, but if you're trying to min max and get your highest score, I think that's the right choice.
That's actually where Necro will probably do well, is that he actually does make the right choice all the time. And I do too much stuff for fun, and it costs me sometimes. We are coming up on 70 minutes here. Hours and 10 minutes coming into Sector 8.
It's good as a like I will occasionally do things just because it's fun as a streamer or because it's good as a streamer, like buying Firebeam when it's not necessarily the right choice. But
Yeah.
I'll
People
not
love
do
their
that if I
Firebeams.
think I'm going to lose if I do. So,
Yeah. And I'm expecting to not see a lot of that in this tournament because this is it's the winnings aren't huge, but it's still a competitive environment where people want to do well. So I'm hoping to see people making the maybe not fun choice, but the right choice, you know?
I completely agree, Rand. It's I'm really looking forward to the tournament, and it's, you know, we're not on a huge stage, but I just want to win so bad and do so well. It just doesn't even matter.
Well, and one thing that me and Kasalian have talked about a lot is if this has a good reception and if people enjoy it, if it's good for the community, we're hoping to do more of these in the future because already this is a lot of fun to me. Just chatting with you all about the game while seeing people play is such a cool time because you don't get to do this when you're a streamer. You're always just playing the game. So we get to watch and chat about it.
Burger in chat here makes a good point, and something I thought about the other night was everyone wants the bragging rights as being FTL champion. I mean, that would just be a good little thing to add to the stream here. FTL champion, world champion.
I know it's right. It's not conceded. We're the best person. Whoever wins is the best person in the world, and nobody can, you know, except Hollow, who's going to say, "I have 92 wins
Hollow might
in
have
a
something
row."
to say about that if he doesn't win the tournament too. Yeah,
who's the best? Oh, this is great. So Pieboy is in Sector 8. I think Porcu has he got to Sector 8 or is he still Sector 7 here? He's got his third shield. He's still on level 2 hacking. But I think he's a little bit behind, and I think this time might be significant enough that it might be tough for him to catch up with Pieboy in the score here.
Yeah, Porcu is going to have a hard time, and I'm actually concerned for him in terms of just getting a flagship kill here without the cloaking right now.
Mm-hmm.
He has
got all that scrap.
More shield, but yeah, he's going to have trouble with that.
Oh, he's got one store.
Oh, he does have a store.
Cross the fingers
Miracle
for that
store.
cloaking.
Cross your fingers. Cloaking. Click it.
There it is.
Yes.
It's even got backup battery.
Yes,
too.
we have a
cloaking backup battery. Then get the hacking up, I would say.
Yes, absolutely. If you can afford, yeah, and he should be able to afford it. He's got a personnel drone to sell.
His weapons are great.
Yeah. Let's get that backup battery. You got to get that backup battery. Do it. Not Clone Bay. Well, I mean, his crew's weak, but
Clone Bay's not bad. He does have mind control too. He doesn't have to have Clone Bay though.
Yeah, I think the backup battery is the right choice.
Backup battery is a good choice.
Well done. I like the build, MrPorcu. Feels a lot better with those two.
Let's get our buffers in and just mosey. Don't take too much time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that he needs that cloaking and mind control buffers. I think he needs hacking more. Hacking 3.
Hacking 3 is
I
more important
completely
here. I
agree.
agree. Yeah.
Completely agree. Yeah. But he does have Sector 8 to get it upgraded, but still, that's just, I feel like MrPorcu as a player needs to value hacking a little bit higher than what we've seen this run. Oh, here we
Yeah,
go.
Pieboy's going to the
Flagship.
flagship fight now.
Pieboy's
Let's do it.
going to the flagship. That was a quick Sector 8. Maybe I blinked or was looking at that store for Porcu too much, but he's already
Yeah.
at the flagship. That was very quick.
Does that seem
What I
like
don't
an
like
early
here is that
backup
he
battery?
actually, like, Pieboy here activated his backup battery immediately when the fight
I
started.
agree.
Instead
That
of
seems
waiting
way
until after
early.
the enemy weapons fired.
And what I also don't like is that he didn't put the backup power into hacking. I prefer to have the backup battery in hacking so that your engines stay powered when it runs out, is my preference.
I usually put it in
It'd be
engines
nice for him to
because
be. It'd be
sign
nice
there.
if he were had a sensor upgrade or someone in sensors too to get the mind control to bring the dodge down when he's shooting here.
I actually like what he's doing here. I like mind control and shields after the shot because that can get you extra crew kills.
Oh, going for the
phase
crew
one.
kills. Interesting strategy choice. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
What were you saying, Necro, about the backup battery?
So I prefer actually putting the backup battery in the engines just because it's actually easier for me to assign that way.
Oh, okay. So that's a micro choice with your using the hotkeys. Is that correct?
Yes.
Interesting.
Because
okay.
I think the hotkey for hacking power is L, and I think the hacking or the power hotkey for engines is S. So it's
Okay.
just much easier to just actually use that there.
So that's a
There was-
hotkey choice. I like
there
it.
was an-
Okay.
There was he doesn't stream much anymore, FTL, or even much in general, but Cyber Billy was a small stream from several years ago. He
Mhm.
showed his setup for playing FTL, and I used to like to watch his streams. He had foot pedals assigned.
Really?
Yeah, so he could actually got his feet going when he needed to cloak. Boom, he'd hit that foot
Interesting.
pedal, and his timing was impeccable because of the foot pedal.
Get your it's like an organ player. Use your fingers and your toes. That's
Yeah.
pretty amazing.
He did, yeah. It really helped him out.
So Pieboy did get one crew kill with that mind control, I believe, in shields earlier. I'm curious if he's going to do the same strategy here. If he's going to, because mind controlling that guy in shields would slow down. Okay, he waits till the crew gets in there to do it. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
he's
cool.
trying
I
to
like
get a
that.
few crew
I think
kills
that's
in.
the right
Interesting.
choice. I think waiting until the crew is actually in there is the right choice. The trouble is it actually oftentimes doesn't mind control who you want it to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't actually know if he
unfortunately,
killed anyone there.
he got a kill there, but the animation went off, so that guy's
Yeah.
still probably alive.
Yeah, I think you're right. That's one thing that's interesting is if you kill the boss at the same time that the crew is dying, if the animation doesn't finish, I believe that crew comes back, if I'm not mistaken.
Unless they are in the rooms that exist only on hard mode. If they're in the side rooms
Yes.
between the shields and the middle of the two weapons rooms, they'll actually just vanish even if they're still alive.
Yeah, that kind of side room bug. Yeah, very good point.
I think Pieboy should be fine with the borders though. He's got the mind control. He's got the Zoltan shields.
Mhm.
I'm not too worried for him on this build.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they'll have the doors manned also. It would have been nice if he had level 3 doors, but I don't think he needs it here.
Yeah. And he's got 5 power and engines, 3 shields, cloaking. That's kind of my bottom. That's as low as I would want to have my defense against the boss, honestly. Cloaking makes up for the no 4th shield, but any less than this would be, I think, scary. But he's looking really good for this final phase.
I agree.
Yeah,
He is following-
I think bare minimum defenses against the flagship fight is 3 shields, 4 engines, but that's very bare minimum.
Yeah. And here we go. I like this strategy. He's following the boss so that if he gets boarded and things get out of hand, he could run back to the exit beacon to recover.
Yes, the old kidnap strats.
Old
Very
kidnap
key.
strat.
The biggest trouble is his NG is not in the door system right now. There it is.
Oh, yeah. He was a little slow on that mind control counter, honestly. But I don't think that'll hurt him too much. The boarding
I don't think it'll
placement's pretty
matter.
good.
The trouble is those orders are going into piloting, which is not good
Yeah.
for him.
Okay. Double fire, 2 missiles hit. Okay.
The enemy's boarding into fire is good, though.
Yeah. Okay. Mind control.
Stupid humans till the end.
Go vent yourselves. But this
He
is
is taking
probably a
advantage of the
kidnapping.
kidnap,
He's
so he is
kidnapping.
running back, taking those 2 crew with him, and then
He's thinking better
fixing
safe
up,
than sorry.
taking care-
I like it.
I think
Yeah,
part of the
it's not
problem
long.
is he's got 2 borders in his piloting, so his dodge is going to go way down if he can't deal with this.
Well, since he's run now, he just can slowly deal. He's going to take an extra damage from those borders in the pilot, but 1 extra damage to deal with the borders, I think, is a worthwhile trade. For
Yeah,
sure.
it's a good choice.
Yeah.
I guess I meant if he had not run, he would have had a hard time dealing
True.
with it. But
So,
kidnapping
You
makes it very
agree with
easy.
that strat because he's not dead.
Good decision. Yeah, I think it was a good decision.
MrPorcu's not too far behind. I think he's about 2 jumps. I think he's going to have a forced dive. Yeah, this looks like a forced dive before the boss fight, which is always sketchy. And he's got that 4 engines, 3 shields you were talking about, NecroRebel, which is bare minimum. And level 3
He
cloaking.
does have level 3 cloaking, so the dive shouldn't be a problem for him.
That is
I don't think he should be
choice.
fighting the ship. I think he should just be cloaking and running away.
Yeah, he should really be looking at hacking weapons, and then when the ASB hits, cloak and just dip and duck out of here.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's fighting.
He's not using. He did not use backup batteries. Only doing level 1 cloaking.
He's only got one level 1 cloak.
He timed it correctly, so
you can time that, but there is a bit of RNG there. Level 2 will keep you much safer.
Well, and he had a chance to get hit by a missile, so he just got lucky that he got a dodge.
Maybe he wanted to get it off cooldown more quickly because he's taking the flagship here. So maybe there's a little bit of strategy there.
Possibly. All right. So we got Pieboy on phase 3, MrPorcu on phase 1. So
MrPorcu is very low in power here. I'm still not very comfortable with where he is.
Yeah. That low power and 1 missing engine. That 4 engines instead of 5. He could have.
He's doing what you said, Rand, getting the battery power and the hacking.
Okay. All right, he's cloaking. I got to say, Zoltan Shield kind of covers for a lot of the things we're talking about. It really gives you a lot of extra time.
Pieboy
here.
That's a tough hack.
Power to spend.
Oh, yeah. That's not a great hack for Porcu, actually. Pieboy here is looking ready to rip through. He's already ripped through Zoltan Shields on the flagship here. He's got a couple borders, but they're going to the sensors, so he's good.
That's a good place. That's good.
Yeah, the oxygen's
going got fires and oxygen, but they don't need to breathe that much longer, so he's also good.
He's
one more swipe ought to do it. That's it. Pieboy.
Yep,
GG. Nice run.
So there's Pieboy, and hopefully we'll get a timer for when we do the actual tournament, so we can see the time exactly.
Got the time coming in here on the Discord. We'll let you know.
You got it coming through? Okay.
79 minutes for Pieboy, so pretty respectable. Hour 19 minutes.
And we'll have to see his score.
Yeah, we'll have to see his score. It'll be a combination of time and score.
Whew, he's got a lot of fires looking like, but he's through phase 1. Only 4 damage looks like, so that's not a bad phase 1. I don't know if he got any crew kills, though. All right. Hopefully he gets that 5th engine here, but he might need power, though. You're saying
I would be
might need power. Okay.
Maybe
well
taking
played the Pieboy.
Too.
Okay. All right, so he's got, we're looking at either power or engines. He's got 61 scrap, so we can probably get one or the other. His crew is a little light, but he does have that mind control, so that's going to be helpful. We just hope he can stay on top of his crew micro when we get into that final
And
phase.
don't forget, remember, he picked up that battle engine early on, so I know that was
he's fully trained.
That was
fully trained battle engine.
that was actually Pieboy had the battle engine. I got my battle engines confused. They're very very tough.
We're stupid humans. We can't tell the difference.
All their battle scars make them very, very similar looking.
He does have that repair mantis. I'm not actually sure if he's trained or not.
He does have repair mantis.
Repair mantis and battle engine
being put to full use.
He is actually fully repair trained, it looks like.
There you go.
Just min-maxing that mantis. Nice.
Okay. All right. So let's see what he does with his last bit of scrap here. He's going into phase 2. Oh, he's going to take another fight before he does any more upgrades, it looks like.
Yeah, so it looks like he wants more scrap.
Mm-hmm. It's a good play. It'll take more time, but he might not feel comfortable. And this is probably worth to make sure he just guarantees he gets the flagship kill. Because one thing we are doing is if you do not get the flagship kill, you're basically out of the running because we added a flat bonus to killing the flagship. So we are saying even if you do a really fast run, you have to kill the boss, or else you're basically not going to be able to have enough points to compete with the other players who do kill the flagship.
Yeah, it's a 100-point boost, correct?
Mm-hmm. That's correct. Yeah, 100-point boost to make sure.
200-point score for
not completing your run will certainly almost get you defeated unless your opponent doesn't do it as well. And
exactly.
then you still have a shot.
Yeah,
and I guess theoretically, some seeds could be so bad that you both would fail.
That's kind of why we want to do that. There might be a seed where if we have 4 people running, all 4 people die. So nobody gets that bonus 100, but we can still compare the score. But if one person is able to fight through and get the win, then they have pretty much guaranteed their spot. If they can get the flagship kill. All right, so is he looking at weapon value point? That's
I don't agree with that if he does go for that. I think the power is the right choice.
There you go. Power and engines is what I'd like to see. Okay, he's going with the piloting max. He wants those He wants that piloting stay online at all times, apparently.
Yeah, I
I
also
do-
don't agree with that since he can just use mind control to counter that. But
I
it's,
agree.
I do like this level 3 cloaking here. I'll be curious to see if he uses that on phase 3 to dodge both missiles and the power surge, if that can be done. That's also
He's
a little
got
bit
the backup
RNG, but
battery, so yeah. All right, let's see if he can
here comes the
bypass
hacking trick. Nice.
There it is. He got it first try. Very nice.
yep.
Pass
Smooth
the
hacking
defense
trick.
drone.
All right, so he's got the level 3 hacking. He's going in. He gets the. Is that the swipe you all like on the boss? Shields.
Yeah, that is
missiles,
totally
and
Standard
piloting?
swipe.
Good.
Yep.
Very nice. So let's see. He's got level
Ooh, he's got
1
some
cloaking.
low
Let's
health
see if
humans
he-
there. Let's see what happens.
Level 1
Yeah,
cloak
see
is
if-
enough to stop the drone swarm. I would have actually
Okay.
saved it for the drone swarm though. I think he used that a little early there.
A little early. Okay.
Actually, he actually
Well,
used
I
level
think
3
well
hacking.
he
Actually
is
used level
going
3
to get the kill here. So you should only have to cloak once, right?
Let's see. Is he? I think that's some crew kills he's going to get if that burst laser hit or heavy
Oh,
laser
he's
hits in
going for
time.
crew kills instead of taking the ship out.
Oh,
Interesting. I don't
interesting.
know.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
That's going
I
to
think
cost
he
him
only
some time.
Is going to cost some time, and I think some of those are.
I don't know
getting
about
out, so-
that. He's got
yeah.
the Zoltan shields. He's got the mind control. He's got 6 crew.
Okay.
Okay.
Didn't
okay.
cost
Well, it
him
didn't
too
cost him
much
too
time.
much. No, it didn't.
Yeah. And sadly, it didn't look like the bioswipe did much. I think it might have gotten 1 crew.
Yeah.
But you know,
It was worth
might
it,
be
though,
one
I
of the
guess.
Hey,
safe.
one more dead human in the universe is good enough for me.
He didn't vent him, but he's dead. So you know,
Yeah,
you
at
take
least
what you
he's
can get.
dead. Yeah.
Now, something I noticed that neither of these players actually did for phase 2. If you have level 2 oxygen on and all of your doors open, a single breach will actually not drain oxygen fast enough to actually drain the oxygen from that room. So that
Very
can
good
actually
point.
help you counter boarding drones. None of these
Yes.
players did that in this case, though, even though both of them had level 2 oxygen.
I like that. That's a really good point. It sometimes. That as well. Okay. All right. Well,
So I'm gonna
hopefully.
tell
Yeah, so
Castilian.
no audio for the end of Porcu's run, I guess. That's not good.
Okay, looks like audio's
Okay.
back. So sorry for the loss of audio. There it is. Porcu did finish the run. A little bit low score and a little bit slower than Pieboy, but he got the win.
46-14, though. That's actually
Nice.
it's
What's
kind
the
of
score
impressive
here?
with that.
1486 scrap 4614. Yeah, pretty low, kind of a low score there. It seems lower than what the ship level would indicate as well. And I that was an 87-minute run. So 87 minutes, about what was that? 10 minutes more.
Yeah,
No,
about 10 minutes.
about
Well, let's see.
8 minutes more.
Castalian-
8 minutes more than
Yeah.
Castalian's run.
No, Pieboy's was 79 minutes.
Pieboy's-
44.76, and it looks like Porcu's was 80. What did you say? 87.
87
And
minutes at
46-14
score. And there'll be some back calculations to convert that to an FTL tournament score.
And I think it's time to say goodbye to Necro. So NecroDancer, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you had a good time chatting and casting with us here.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
We had a good time with you. Yeah. Thanks for all the commentary and in-depth and discussion about what a true FTL professional does. Thank you, NecroRebel.
That's right. And if in chat, if you type !guest, you will be able to get NecroRebel's information. And join him, give him a follow over on Twitch, because I believe you'll be streaming today in just a little bit. Is that right?
Yep. I'm probably going to have to start a little late because I still need to eat my lunch, but yeah, I'll be doing that in just probably 45 minutes or so.
Awesome. Are you playing FTL Hard Mode No Pause? Is that what you're doing?
Yep.
Absolutely. Well,
that's what Tay will be.
Well, that's awesome. So give NecroRebel a follow and go watch him play some FTL Hard Mode No Pause, because he's probably better than a lot of us here. So thank you again, NecroRebel. It was a blast to have you. I hope you will look forward to joining the tournament in the future when we have you.
See you,
For sure.
Thanks.
All right. See you later, man. Okay. And it
So,
looks
Rand,
like
I don't
we're
know if
going to
he's-
go. Yeah, I think we're going on a short break. Is that right, Freddie? It looks like.
Yeah, it looks like Cassalien's telling us we'll be on a short break here. We're going to do a little bit of score calculation and then wrap up the see how the run went, and then also too we'll be talking to the winner of the run.
Oh yeah, okay.
I'm thinking it's probably going to be
It's
Pieboy.
probably Pieboy, but what we're going to do is we're going to go to a short break, everybody. So you can use the restroom, have a GG cookie time, because those were some good runs. And when we come back, we will have calculated scores, and we will be interviewing our I think we're going to interview both players for this, and we'll reveal the winner, even though it might not be too big of a surprise.
Hold on to your seats.
Hold on to your butts, everybody. We're going to find out. So quick AFK, maybe just a minute or two here. And when we come back, we'll find out the winner and have an interview. So thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all are enjoying.
Okay.
All right. I'm sorry. Is Freddie? Hello, we're here. We're back. I have a
We're
cookie
live.
because we're going to. Mr. Porcu's got his GG cookie time ready, so we are going to announce the results for this awesome test on our tournament run. I want to thank both Pieboy and Mr. Porcu for being a part of this. Did you all have a good time?
That was a lot of fun.
That was kind of frustrating because of the lag I had in my computer.
You were
I think
fighting
I won't
both
beat
FTL and the lag, Mr.
and my
Porcu, weren't
computer,
you?
yes.
And your computer.
I
Well,
think
like
I
your Just
won't
Do It
take-
classes.
Yeah, I took this from a Comic-Con, a local Comic-Con.
Well,
10
great
bucks.
job to both of you. It was a lot closer run than we thought it was going to be. We'll talk about your runs in just a second, but I think we do want to show the score to see who won this little friendly show match to do a practice
The
run.
score
So
is a surprise too.
Is it a
so
surprise? Okay. All right.
It's very surprising to me, at least.
It's a very close score. So let's reveal.
Very close.
Let's see Pieboy's score first. Let's see what Pieboy got. This is the tournament score. So this is the score divided by the time using plus the bonus time. And it's going to be 156.66. You crazy Europeans uses commas instead of periods there. So 156.66. And we're going to see if Mr. Porcu was able to catch that because his run was slightly longer, but he also got a little bit higher scrap, if I remember correctly.
A little bit higher score, a little more scrap.
Yes.
A little long, 8
Higher
minutes
score.
longer.
Yeah, so
Higher
Kasalian, Pieboy was 4476. Wait, I'm hearing they screwed up. I don't know if that's...
Yeah. Technical difficulties, please stand by.
Technical scoring difficulties. All right. So Pieboy's FTL score was 4476 in 79 minutes. And let's see, the other score for Mr. Porcu was 87 minutes, and it was 40 something. It was a little bit higher. 46 14.
So
Okay.
Pieboy,
14.
you had a monster ship
Yes.
at the end of this run. What did you think of this run in terms of scale of difficulty while we're working on the final score here?
Yeah.
Would you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, say, how would you rate this as a difficulty on this particular run for this ship?
Let's ask Pieboy first. What do you think? How was this run for you?
For Zoltan A, that is way up there. That was way more difficult than it needed to be. 1 to 10. I would be that guy, go over 10, but I'll say 9. You can have worse runs.
It seemed like you had a hard time finding crew, is what it seemed like.
I will accept I made some hideous misplays in Sector 7.
It's hard not to do in this game. What would you point out as being the big misplay or the factor that made it more challenging than it had to be?
There was a fight in Sector 7, which I just completely messed up in every single way possible. I should have won that fight. I should have got the scrap, and I didn't.
Did you end up running from that fight, if I remember correctly?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I ran because
Is that the one where the engines were on fire and you skedaddled to the store trying to basically not get stuck in the fight?
No. This was of my own making because
And it was a pirate, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, I did the wrong hack. I did the hack wrong. I didn't shoot at the right time. It just no pause.
And the big missile hit.
Yeah, always the big missiles. Before we reveal Mr. Porcu's score, I do want to ask you, what was your toughest sector? What was the toughest moment? Did you have a pretty rough run as well, do you think?
First things first, I've never played hard in vanilla.
Okay.
So
wow.
This was
extra hard.
Good win then. Nice.
Yeah. Well, just getting a win in hard mode.
Secondly, my fight was when I lost this Zoltan because of
that was a tough
fire.
one. You had, I think, 2 or 3 Zoltans in that room, and one died and one almost died. You saved the second one though, so I was happy you were able to save the second Zoltan.
Yeah.
But that's great job to get.
Otherwise, that might have been a restart, probably. I don't know.
Well, you got the win playing hard mode on vanilla for the first time, so I'm impressed. I don't know about you, Freddie, but that's pretty impressive.
Also, I almost got killed because I got down to 3 whole damage.
That's 2 more than you need,
points.
Porcu. You just need
That's
one
right.
hull. You're fine.
That's right. More than I need. So we've delayed it long enough. Let's do it. Kasalin, let's see what MrPorcu scores. See if he was able to match the 156.66 of Pieboy. Prepare your cookies, everybody. 155.8. He was so close.
Oh,
Less
man.
than one
Less than a
tournament
point
score.
on a 200 scale. Or a
So
scale.
GG cookie time to Pieboy for the win. Just barely.
Wow. Well done, though. Good job.
Great job to both players.
Great
Round of
run.
applause. That, I got to say, that was a ton of fun to see. So two
Wait.
runs so close. And so I like your GG cookie time. You came prepared.
if my webcam didn't have some problems because I was lagging.
5 free hull damage.
5 free hull damage. Nice.
You know,
So Pieboy, maybe you can answer this for us, or either one of you guys. One thing we discussed earlier was sort of the nerve factor. Were you nervous coming into this, and did those ease, or how did that affect the gameplay?
Okay, I'll jump in first. I was actually really, really chill at the start, and it got worse as the run went on.
As the
pressure started to build, and FTL kept going, I'm not making this easy on you.
I didn't mean to dive in that sector, so I'll give you that one as a misplay.
Well, sometimes you run out of fuel. I was noticing you were out of fuel like 2 or 3 times on that run. You were having some fuel problems there.
Yeah, I'm stubborn. I don't buy enough fuel at stores. It's really easy for myself to like look at my play and go, "Oh, I could have done better there."
Well, I think we're always our worst critics, but I would still say for a practice run, just getting the win and having a pretty strong ship at the end there. I think your weapons weren't the best, but we were talking about you had that burst laser 2 choice at the end of sector 7.
Yes.
And you were disciplined and didn't spend the extra scrap. You got the hacking upgrade, I think, and some power upgrade instead of actually getting that burst laser too.
Yeah, that was absolutely the right call.
I saw you mousing over it, and then you increase your weapons, and then decrease the weapons, and then go put the mouse back over it.
You were debating.
And increase the power, decrease the power, put the weapons back up. Obviously, a lot of decisions turning. And I said at the time, it's not the right play. Just click it. It's a burst laser too. But no, you did make the right play in the end, I think.
Freddie's
So
not
well
as
done.
disciplined as you.
Yeah, no, I would have clicked it. I admit. Well done, though.
Chat was disappointed.
Of course. Chad is disappointed no matter what you do, so don't let that get on your conscience. But I got to say, MrPorcu, you were really close. I would say the thing that we, as the casters, were saying about, we were waiting for that level 2 hacking for so long. Was there a reason you delayed upgrading your hacking for as long as you did?
Quoting a certain video game, not enough errors.
Not enough what? I'm sorry?
I was waiting for enough scrap to have more stuff.
Okay, so you're banking your scrap and hoping.
Also, I bought too much fuel. I also bought too much fuel every now and then, as Explosive Ash said in chat.
MrPorcu, you had an early medbay upgrade and early oxygen upgrade. Was that because you thought on this particular ship, I have Zoltans, they're weak, oxygen's a bit squishy, or because you were in a Manta sector, or what was the thinking behind that?
For the oxygen, I 4 breaches, and when I need to reoxygenate the whole ship fast, as you've noticed, I tend to be on low levels on the first few sectors. For the medbay, because it's blue option.
Interesting.
Mostly.
Blue option
and
for
to heal
medbay.
faster.
Okay. Well, I thought because you went to Manta sector, you
they-
were worried about the borders, so you wanted the extra healing against boarding.
That was an afterthought.
Okay. Well, that was pretty awesome. I got to say, for a trial run, I had a blast. Like chatting with some other FTL players while we get to watch you and judge your play. That's probably going to be one of the challenges when you do the tournament. Is like, oh no, I had these people watching, second guessing all of my choices. But that was a ton of fun. Congrats to Pieboy for the win. How do you feel to be the winner?
I'm actually a little bit surprised that the time would just about put me over. It's just about showed the advantage of using no pause.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's you gotta use your pauses very judiciously so that you don't take too much time. It sounds like.
I don't think you had any pauses during the run, did you, Pieboy? If you did, I missed it. Porcu had a couple of very short ones, but did you have any pauses, Pieboy?
No, I've got my pause button unbound at the moment, so.
Oh, so you were completely no pause on that run, huh?
Yeah, it's just how I've been used to playing.
Yeah, we were talking to NecroRebel. He was saying he plays so much no pause that he probably would have a difficulty forcing himself to pause because you kind of get in the habit of that, right?
Yeah, it's something I've just enjoyed, the challenge of no pause. So I've just kept it off the whole time. The only time I've had pause on is for testing ships.
Mm-hmm. Well, that is awesome. I think that's going to conclude our interview. And so I want to again thank the both of you, Pieboy and MrPorcu, both. I know there's been a lot of work to get set up, getting the cameras, getting the capture, getting the mics, all the setup.
And the
FTL, the CPU, whatever internet problems you're having. But you fought through it, and we got to see.
I think I won't take.
You think you won't take part now because you're just.
I won't take part today. I won't take part to the actual tournament at this point.
Well, you got to do the trial at least.
I want to ask Cass for one thing. If I took 82 minutes, what would be my...
You can actually calculate it yourself. I think we have the calculations somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
I think Kasalin could probably do the calculations for you. I don't have it. I don't have the calculation here, but
less is definitely more when it comes to the score. As quickly as possible with the best score, and that is available.
Yeah, and Kasalin will do that calculation for you if you just kind of message him. And but I think I am gonna call the interview there and say test successful. This was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. So Pieboy, MrPorcu, thank you. Thank you so much, Freddie, for helping with the casting. This was awesome to have you on board, to have you cast with me right here for this.
Color commentary, and hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I did, because I had a great time. Thank you so much for having me on.
Of course, it was an absolute blast. This has been a great test. I think with this, we'll know what things we need to add, like maybe having time on the screen. We're going to have, I believe, in the real tournament, I think we're going to have 4 people playing at the same time and then get down to a head-to-head for the finals or something. That's still being figured out. But this has been great because we have a lot of good stuff in this trial run that we can improve and make the actual tournament be even smoother. So thank you all for everyone involved. We're going to take one little break here as we transition back to kind of my normal stream. And again, I'm going to say thank you, Pieboy, Mr. and Freddie. Thank you all. Hit ! Co-caster in the chat. You can see Freddie's information, and you can give him a follow as well. Same for Pieboy. Pieboy, I think you also have a stream that you give him a follow as well.
Thanks. I can already say I follow Freddie and I follow Necro.
Perfect. So awesome. We will see you all now. We're going to go to a brief AFK, and we'll be back in just a minute for some FTL viewerships, I think is what we're going to do.
Yep, I'll
Thanks,
see you
guys.
in
Thank
chat.
Rand.
Yeah. My pleasure, guys.
See you in chat.